Please like, share and subscribe. The Lycanarog, Blood Moon Hunt. In the heart of an ancient forest, where shadows danced among the towering trees and whispers of the past lingered, two brothers, Alex and Ethan, embarked on a perilous journey. Clad in rugged attire, their faces etched with determination, they ventured into the darkness, their rifles slung over their shoulders and their senses keenly attuned to the wild. As they delved deeper into the forest, the canopy above grew dense, casting an oppressive shroud over the landscape. The moon's faint glow provided scant illumination, leaving much of their surroundings cloaked in obscurity. Yet, Alex and Ethan pressed on, their footsteps echoing softly against the forest floor, each rustle of foliage sending shivers down their spines. The brothers reached the heart of the forest, and a palpable tension hung in the air, thickening with each passing moment. The canopy above seemed to close in around them, casting elongated shadows that danced menacingly in the dim moonlight. Ethan's grip tightened on his rifle while Alex scanned the surroundings with wary eyes, his senses tingling with apprehension. Suddenly, a low growl pierced the silence, causing both brothers to freeze in their tracks. It was a sound unlike any they had heard before, deep and guttural, resonating with primal fury. Ethan's heart hammered in his chest as he exchanged a knowing glance with Alex, their unspoken agreement urging them to proceed cautiously. As they pressed forward, the undergrowth rustled ominously, and a figure emerged from the shadows, a towering beast with the body of a silverback gorilla and the menacing visage of a wolf. Lycanarog stood before them, its eyes gleaming with malevolence, its muscles coiled with predatory intent. A surge of adrenaline coursed through Ethan's veins as he raised his rifle, his hands trembling slightly with a mixture of fear and excitement. Beside him, Alex mirrored his brother's stance, his jaw set in grim determination as he prepared to face the monstrous creature head-on. With a primal roar, Lycanarog lunged forward, its movements swift and savage. The brothers sprang into action, their instincts taking over as they unleashed a barrage of gunfire upon the beast. Yet, to their dismay, Lycanarog seemed unfazed by their assault, its thick fur serving as a formidable barrier against their weapons. As the battle raged on, the forest echoed with the sounds of clashing steel and feral snarls, each passing moment bringing the brothers closer to the heart of darkness that lurked within the depths of the woods. And unbeknownst to them, their greatest challenge lay not in defeating the beast before them but in surviving the horrors that awaited them in the shadows. The clash between the brothers and Lycanarog erupted into chaos, the forest reverberating with the cacophony of their struggle. In the frenzy of battle, branches snapped, and leaves flew as the combatants danced amidst the gnarled roots and tangled undergrowth. Yet, amidst the turmoil, fate conspired to sow seeds of discord, and the brothers were torn asunder by the relentless onslaught of the monstrous adversary. A sudden blur of movement caught Ethan's eye as Lycanarog, with lightning speed, transformed into a wild pig, its massive form barreling through the foliage with primal ferocity. In the confusion that followed, Ethan lost sight of Alex amidst the swirling shadows, his panicked calls drowned out by the clamor of the forest. Heart-pounding with dread, Ethan stumbled through the labyrinthine maze of trees, his senses on high alert as he searched frantically for any sign of his brother. The darkness seemed to close in around him, suffocating and oppressive, as the echoes of their battle faded into the distance, leaving him alone in the wilderness. With each passing moment, Ethan's fear intensified, a gnawing sense of dread coiling in the pit of his stomach as he realized the gravity of their situation. Once a familiar sanctuary, the forest had transformed into a labyrinth of nightmares, where every shadow concealed unseen threats, and every rustle of leaves heralded impending doom. And then, amidst the silence, a blood-curdling scream shattered the stillness of the night, a primal cry of anguish and terror that sent shivers down Ethan's spine. It was his brother's voice, a haunting echo of despair that pierced the darkness and seared itself into Ethan's soul. With a newfound resolve born of desperation, Ethan forged ahead, driven by a singular purpose, to find his brother and escape the clutches of the malevolent force that lurked within the depths of the forest. But little did he know that their ordeal had only begun, and the true horrors awaiting them would defy all comprehension. Amidst the chaos of battle, Alex found himself ensnared in a lethal embrace with Lycanarog, the creature's primal fury unleashed in a torrent of savagery. His heart pounded with frantic intensity as he grappled desperately against the relentless assault of his monstrous adversary. In a flash of primal instinct, Lycanarog lunged forward, its razor-sharp teeth sinking into Alex's flesh with bone-crushing force. Agonizing pain seared through his throat as the beast's jaws clamped down with vice-like pressure, cutting off his screams and filling his mouth with the metallic taste of blood. Frantically, Alex clawed and thrashed against his assailant, his movements a symphony of desperation as he fought to break free from the creature's deadly grip. But Lycanarog's strength was overwhelming, its primal instincts driving it to rend flesh and spill blood with ruthless efficiency. With a sickening crunch, Lycanarog tore out Alex's throat, the sound of tearing flesh drowned out by the primal symphony of the forest. Blood gushed forth in a crimson torrent, painting the forest floor with macabre strokes of death. Yet, even as the life ebbed from his broken body, Alex's torment was far from over. With relentless hunger, Lycanarog descended upon its fallen prey, its claws tearing through muscle and sinew with savage abandon. The stench of blood and viscera hung heavy in the air as Lycanarog greedily devoured Alex's innards, its primal instincts driving it to consume every last morsel of his flesh. With each bite, the forest echoed with the sickening sound of rending meat, a haunting requiem for a life cut short by unfathomable brutality. And as darkness closed in around him, Alex could only watch in silent horror as Lycanarog feasted upon his remains, his screams silenced forever by the merciless jaws of the beast. In that final moment of agony, he knew that he would never escape the clutches of the monstrous abomination that had claimed his life, his body destined to become little more than sustenance for the insatiable hunger of the forest's darkest secrets. As the moon hung ominously in the night sky, casting eerie shadows upon the forest floor, Ethan's frantic search for his brother continued unabated. Each passing moment seemed to stretch into eternity, the darkness of the woods closing in around him like a suffocating shroud. Suddenly, a guttural roar echoed through the trees, sending shivers down Ethan's spine. He froze in his tracks, heart pounding with fear as he realized that Lycanarog was still on the prowl, its insatiable hunger driving it to hunt down its prey ruthlessly. With renewed urgency, Ethan pressed on, his footsteps quickening as he sought to put as much distance as possible between himself and the malevolent force that lurked within the depths of the forest. But as he fled deeper into the shadows, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched, that every rustle of leaves and every snap of twigs was a harbinger of impending doom. And then, just as hope began to flicker within him, Ethan heard the unmistakable sound of heavy footsteps behind him, the echo of something primal and inhuman drawing ever closer. With a sinking heart, he realized that Lycanarog had found him, its predatory instincts leading it unerringly to its next victim. Summoning every ounce of courage, Ethan turned to face his pursuer, his hands trembling as he gripped his rifle tightly. But as the creature emerged from the shadows, his blood ran cold with dread, for before him stood not Lycanarog, but a twisted amalgamation of man and beast, its form warped and twisted by the dark magic that had consumed it. With a savage snarl, the abomination lunged forward, its eyes burning with primal fury as it sought to claim Ethan's life as its own. But in a stroke of desperate cunning, Ethan outsmarted his foe, leading it on a wild chase through the labyrinthine maze of trees before slipping away into the night like a wraith. With the darkness of the forest receding behind him, Ethan emerged into the cold light of dawn, his breath ragged and his heart heavy with grief for the brother he had lost. The echoes of their harrowing ordeal still reverberated in his mind, each moment etched with the pain of their tragic encounter with the monstrous Lycanarog. As he stumbled through the underbrush, his senses dulled by exhaustion and despair, Ethan couldn't help but feel a profound sense of emptiness gnawing at his soul. for in the span of a single night, he had lost not only his brother but also a part of himself, the innocence and naivety that had once shielded him from the horrors of the world. And yet, amidst the darkness, a flicker of resolve ignited within him, a determination to honor his brother's memory by escaping the clutches of the forest and returning to the world beyond. With each step, he pushed himself forward, driven by the indomitable spirit of survival that burned within him like a beacon of hope in the night. As the first rays of sunlight pierced the canopy above, Ethan emerged from the depths of the forest, his eyes blinking against the harsh glare of daybreak. Behind him, the cursed woods loomed like a spectre of darkness, a reminder of the horrors that lurked within its depths. But even as he left the forest behind, Ethan knew that the scars of their ordeal would never truly heal, that the memory of his brother's sacrifice would linger in his heart like a shadow, haunting him in the quiet moments of solitude ahead. And yet, as he turned his back on the forest and set out into the world beyond, Ethan carried with him a newfound strength, a resilience forged in the crucible of adversity, tempered by the fires of loss and grief. And though he may never entirely escape the spectre of the Lycanarog that had claimed his brother's life, he vowed to honor his memory by living each day to its fullest, cherishing the precious gift of life that had been so cruelly taken from them in the depths of the haunted woods.